Hola a todos. I hope this video finds you doing well today. The purpose of this video is to give you a brief overview of the conditional tense in Spanish. Now, unlike the future, which we talked about in a separate video, the future was translated as will. I will go, she will eat, they will drink, so on and so forth. The conditional tense is translated as would. So if I were rich, I would buy blah, 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 blah. If we could, I would go to the beach every day. Would is our conditional tense. Just like the future, it's conjugated in a very similar way. You do not have to remove the AR, ER, or IR. You just keep the infinitive verb and you add the appropriate ending. So, hablar, comer, beber. You're not dropping that AR or ER or IR as you normally would in the past. You're just taking those verbs and you're adding these endings. Ia, ias, ia, íamos, iais, and ian. These may remind you of the imperfect a little bit. So, for example, hablar, hablaría, I would talk. Hablarías, you would talk. Hablaría, he or she would talk. Again, the yo form and the él, ella, usted are the same. Hablaríamos, we would talk. Hablaríais, you all in Spain would talk. And hablarían, they would talk. Okay? Now, you do have some irregulars, verbos irregulares, in the conditional tense, just like you did in the future. Actually, the same verbs are irregular in both tenses. So, all the verbs that you see here have the same irregular stem that they had with the future. Decir became dir. So if you can memorize the stem, you can take the conditional ending and add on there. So decir becomes dir, hacer, ar, poder, por, poner, pondre, venir, vendra. So for example, let's take venir. To say that I would come, vendría. You would come, vendrías. He or she would come, vendría. We would come, vendríamos. You all in Spain would come, vendríais. And they would come, ellos, ellas, ustedes vendrían. So make sure you know these irregulars here. There's some that you do just have to memorize. As always, I've said this in pretty much every video. Conjuguemos is a wonderful website if you need to practice and get repetition with drilling these into your brain. Conjuguemos is wonderful for that. Let's look at some examples here of the conditional tense. You see, ¿qué sería yo? What would I be? ¿Qué sería yo? Yo todo te daría. I would give you everything. Yo todo te daría. Ellos tendrían la respuesta. They would have the answer. And ¿qué dirías tú? What would you say? Let's make sure you know how to conjugate here. So this is the verb comer, to eat. As we go through and conjugate, we're going to remove the we're not going to remove the ER because in the future in the conditional you don't do that. You're just going to take your regular infinitive here of comer and you need to throw your appropriate endings on here for the conditional. So you get comería, comerías, comería, comeríamos, comeríais, and comerían. I've got some examples here that I'd like for you to try. Number one says, Yo venir a la fiesta si pudiera. I would go to the party if I could. So we're going to take venir. We know that our stem is irregular. It becomes vendr. So yo vendría a la fiesta si pudiera. I would come to the party if I could. Number two, si fuera millonario, comprar una isla. If I were a millionaire, I would buy an island. So we're going to take comprar, and to say that I would buy, we know that we need to add ia on the end. So si fuera millonario, compraría una isla. I want you to take a moment, pause your audio, and give numbers 3 and 4 a try. Okay, now that you've had a second to try, let's take a look at these. Number 3 says, si no hubieran tantos casos de COVID-19, poder ir a la playa este verano. To say that we would be able to go, we're going to take poder and add the appropriate ending, podría, podría. Make sure you know, poder is irregular. The stem becomes P-O-D-R, so you get podríamos, we would be able to. And number 4, recomendar, to recommend. So, she, Tour for you is going to recommend that you go to class every day. In this case, ella is our subject. We're going to take the verb recomendar and add the appropriate ending of ia. Ella te recomendaría que vayas a la clase todos los días. So she would recommend to you that you go to class every day. I hope this review of the conditional has been helpful for you. As always, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out and I will do my best to help you. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.